मग हे पूर्ण झाल्यानंतर
स्टेप
तिथेच स्टॉप करून एक्झिट करून द्यायचं ना.
आपल्या याच्यात जायचं ना तिकडे फोल्डर
The World of Plants 1. Hello friends, I'm The World of Plants 1. Hello friends, I'm Podmal. Hey, why you have started laughing after hearing my name? My name is something like this that everyone starts laughing. If you turn around and look around you, almost everywhere, many of my friends who look younger than me or older than me will be seen. I know that people have many misconceptions about us, especially in the minds of children. Like, do we fall into the category of living or non-living? How do we grow if we are alive? Where do we get energy from, etc. Today I'll give you the answers to all these questions by the characters of this video. Let me take you to Neelu and Meenu's house. They have reached home from school and are playing in the courtyard. The objective of this video are to understand about the nutrition in plants, to understand photosynthesis.
What happened, Didi? What are you thinking?
About this tree? This tree is so green. How cool is it in its shade? It gives so much fresh air.
Yes, Didi, it is. Its leaves are also green.
You are right, Neelu.
Didi, let's ask Mother how she and Father would have planted such a big tree in the front yard.
Yes, let's go.
Mother, tell me one thing. How did you and Father plant this big neem tree in our front yard?
Your grandfather planted it many years ago. Then it must have been a small plant. Is that true? Children, plants grow like us. What did you people think, that the small plants that are there remain small and that the big trees are always like that? Small plants grow up slowly and become trees. Plants are also living things. What are you thinking, Neelu?
Didi, why don't we get one sapling? Maybe then we will be able to understand the various functions of a plant which make them living things.
You are right, Neelu. We shall do one thing. We will both plant 2 saplings.
Yes, Didi. One for me and one for you. While we come back from the school, we will take 2 small saplings from the gardener of the school.
Oh, nice! Look at the 2 sisters. How happy they are. Each one has got a sapling each. Let us see how both will take care of the saplings.
I shall keep this sapling in the window.
I will keep this sapling safely in this room.
Neelu, look how these neem leaves have turned brown. They are all falling from the tree.
Yes, Didi. How come the leaves that are green are on the trees and those that have fallen off the tree are brown in color and look dried?
The world of plants is very strange.
Children, how do you think these two girls will solve the puzzle?
Look, Neelu, mother is watering the plants that are there in the garden. It is very important for the plants to get water to grow. Come, let us also water our plants.
Children, do you think my friends require only water for their growth? Come, let us see what happened after 4 days.
Oh ho, look what has happened. My sapling was fine till yesterday. Today it has turned yellow.
Neelu, look at my sapling. There are a few leaves growing.
Didi, why did my sapling turn yellow?
Wait, let me think. Neelu, there is so much water in the pot too.
Didi, you only had told me that plants require water.
Neelu, I did say that plants require water, but it does not mean that you just keep watering the plants. Mother also waters the plants of the front yard only once in 2 to 3 days.
I watered the plants every day.
I feel that one of the reasons for the plant turning yellow is too much watering of the plants.
Didi, like how we need food to survive and if we eat too much food, we fall sick. Maybe the same thing happened to the plant.
I too feel the same way. Neelu, where did you keep your plant?
I kept the plant in my room.
There is no sunlight in your room.
Didi, is sunlight essential for plants?
Yes, if you notice, the plant is tilting towards the direction of the sunlight and it is getting fresh air also.
It means that plants need water, sunlight and fresh air. No wonder the plants in our front yard look so healthy and green.
You are absolutely right. The mention of air reminded me of what I studied in the science textbook. It is mentioned that we humans inhale oxygen and give out carbon dioxide.
Didi, do you remember you were mentioning the other day that our neem tree provides a lot of fresh air?
Yes.
If we inhale oxygen and give out carbon dioxide, does it mean that the trees are also doing the same?
Yes, plants also need oxygen to survive. However, unlike animals, they need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. We give them carbon dioxide, which is important for them. Now do you know why mother has planted so many trees in the front yard?
Yes, Didi, I am comprehending everything about plants.
If you look at these leaves, you will feel they have been painted green color. Only today our teacher mentioned that leaves have a green pigment called chlorophyll.
Oh, that is why leaves look so green. At least we learned something from the teacher.
You are right.
Remember, Didi, when the gardener uncle gave us the plants, he had properly covered the roots of the plant in the mud.
Yes, I remember. Only due to this, the plant is able to stand upright.
Yes, Didi, I was very curious to learn about the roots. I asked the teacher about it and he told me that roots absorb the water and nutrients from the soil and transport these to the plant.
Yes, you are right. Similarly, these leaves are also very important.
We have learned so much about the plant. We will crack the information about the leaves too.
My science book has a lesson on plants. These days, my teacher is teaching about plants. The lesson has extensive information about leaves. Wait, I will go get the book.
Yes, Didi. Please get it soon and let us unravel the mystery of leaves.
Listen, I will read it and tell you. Chlorophyll helps the leaves to store sunlight. That energy is used to synthesize food with the help of water and carbon dioxide. That is why the process of preparation of food by plants is called photosynthesis.
Didi, by observing plants all these days, how much have we learnt about them? Looks like we have become scientists.
By now we have learned that plants prepare their own food, and that is why they are called autotrophs.
For the plants to prepare food, sunlight, air, carbon dioxide and nutrients are required.
Yes, therefore do not keep your plant in the room.
Didi, henceforth I will take care of my plant.
Both these sisters have gathered a lot of information about us, the plants. But do you know? There is much more to know. Friends, do you think all plants are self-sufficient and make their own food? Keep thinking, because you will find the answer in the next video. See you soon.
World of Plants 2. Children, I am back again. There are many aspects about me that you still need to know. In the previous video, you had learned about living and non-living things, and also that living things require food to survive. You also learned that plants make their own food, which is called autotrophic nutrition. In this video, we will talk about the other two types of plant nutrition. Let us go back to Neelu and Meenu again to know more about the nutrition of plants. The objective of this video is to learn about the type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition.
Neelu, it was so tiring today. Library science practicals, game period. It is so hot. Will you help me?
What is it, Didi?
Remember, I had asked you to keep the sweet plum in the box there. Can you give it to me to eat?
You can eat it later. Didi, look at this first. The plant I had watered has become so big in 10 days' time. Come soon.
Oh God, wait, I'm coming. Wow, it looks really green and healthy.
Look at the big leaves. This plant seems to be getting a lot of sunshine and a lot of nutrition as well.
It is true that plants make their food with the help of sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, and lots of minerals. Do you know, when we went to the library at the school, I had read a very interesting book, World of Plants. It was written in that book that there are some plants which cannot cook their own food.
Didi, it is surprising. Do they have no leaves?
You are right. The school bell rang, so I could not read the entire information. But it was written that they do not have leaves.
Does this mean that like us humans, they depend on others for food? This means that when there are no leaves, there is no chlorophyll.
You are right.
It is surprising that we depend on plants and animals for our food, but there are some plants which depend on someone else for their nutrition.
I'm hungry. Let's eat something first.
What are you reading, Didi?
I brought the book World of Plants from the library today. Neelu, come here and sit. It has quite interesting facts about plants.
Didi, we were talking yesterday about plants that do not make their own food. Tell me more about that.
Look at this plant. It is the plant named corpus flower. It is a plant that relies on food made by other plants. It shows heterotrophic mode of nutrition.
Such lazy plants. Are such plants parasitic?
Yes, corpus flower plant along with other plants like Cuscuta are parasites. These plants are called parasites because they depend on the host plant and get nutrients from them.
These plants have turned out to be very intelligent. They do not even need to work.
You know, they don't kill the host plants. The food, nutrients or water comes from them, isn't it?
Children, can you tell why some plants that have green leaves and do photosynthesis do not make their own food?
Didi, look at this plant. It has green leaves. Why is it in the category of plants that use heterotrophic nutrition?
Yes, this is a good observation. Some plants have leaves but are still dependent on others for food.
But why?
Look at this plant.
These structures look like jugs. Didi, look, there are insects on this plant. Looks like these plants eat insects.
This plant is called a pitcher plant. These are called insectivorous plants.
But it does have leaves. Can it not make its own food?
These plants grow in low nutrient soils and by digesting insects, they make up for their nutritional deficiency.
It means that some plants eat insects. Didi, this is very interesting.
I'm very hungry. I forgot to eat the sweet bun yesterday. Can you get it?
Oh, I forgot. It is in that box. I'll just come. Oh, this is spoiled, Didi. Some white growth is on it and it smells bad.
You must have kept this bun in a damp container.
Oh, Didi. Remember, we once saw such a white growth even on pickles. Mother said it was called fungus. Now I remember.
Yes, it is called fungus. These are actually plants that are taking nutrients from bread. Such nutrition is called Heterotrophic nutrition. These are plants that thrive on decaying substances or spoiled material.
Didi, where do these come from?
They are actually present in the air. They do not come by any magic or miracle. When they land on moist substances, they reproduce and grow.
I learned so much today. I shall go and play now.
Children, can you imagine how fungi eat decaying matter? In this video, you learned about 3 types of heterotrophic nutrition: the parasitic nutrition, insectivorous nutrition, and saprotrophic nutrition. Did you know that plants need the right type of minerals to grow to their proper size? What will happen if plants do not get enough carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen? Their development will stop. Nitrogen is not directly available to plants. At any given time, nitrogen in the soil is found either in plant and animal remains in relatively stable soil organic matter or in living soil organisms, mainly microbes such as bacteria. Some nitrogen amounts may also be present in urea, which may be available to plants in small quantities. We will learn about this in the next video. Till then, I take your leave.
Nutrition in Plants, Part 3. Hello friends, how are all of you? I have been looking for an answer to a question. Do plants, animals and microorganisms depend on each other for food and shelter like human beings? What do you think? Today Shankar and Sandeep's teacher taught them about nutrition in plants. Their mind was full of queries about the topic. Their teacher had asked them to do an experiment on fungi. Both of them were engrossed in a conversation about the same while returning from school. Let us see what are the questions in their mind and how do they search for the answers. The objectives of this story are 1. Information about symbiotic relationship. 2. Information about manure. 3. How are nutrients returned to the soil?
I will definitely try the experiment our teacher was telling us about at home. I shall take a piece of bread, wet it a little and keep it in a warm and damp place. I want to observe how does fungi look like. Look, Ramesh Kaka is sowing his field. Let us go and observe him and sit under the shade of the peepal tree.
Hello Ramesh Kaka.
Hello Sandeep, how was your day at school?
Today our teacher told us about fungi. She told us that fungi are very beneficial to farming.
Kaka, I think the plants and trees help each other and depend on each other too. Isn't it, Sandeep? Just like you depend on me to play and go out?
That is correct. By the way, the relationship between fungi and plants is also like friends.
What do you think, Shankar? Is it possible for fungi and plants to be friends?
Do you remember, Sandeep? Last week we saw a beehive. Thinking about honey, my mouth is watering. So you remember that we observed how the bees were sucking nectar from different flowers.
Yes, Shankar, I remember. So honeybees and flowers are also good friends. They help each other.
Like a honeybee sucks nectar from different flowers and in return drop their pollens here and there. Do you remember? We learned about this last year. This is known as pollination.
Yes, Shankar, you are very sharp. I borrowed a book from the library in school on science. I had read about pollination in it. I also read that in the same way a few creatures live with each other and share their home and food with each other. This is known as symbiotic relationship.
Come, let us look in this book and find out about other species who are dependent on each other for food and shelter.
Friends, why don't all of you also think about examples of symbiotic relationships? The teacher had given the example of fungi and explained that some fungi live in the roots of trees.
So, do the fungi help the trees?
Let us think, Shankar. See, if fungi live in the roots of the trees, then it means the trees give them shelter and, of course, food.
So, what do the fungi give in return?
I think that if fungi help the trees in absorption of water and nutrients from the soil, so this is another example of symbiotic relationship.
What is this on these trees? I have seen the same thing in the pond near my home. It is called kai. Do you remember, Sandeep? Our teacher had told us that it is called lichen. Come, let us read about it in the book.
Both of them looked through the book for the pictures of lichen. Friends, have you ever seen lichen on trees? Look, Shankar, here I'll read it out loud. It looks from these pictures that it is a complete organism which is made up of fungi and algae. Do they also have a symbiotic relationship?
Fungi provides shelter, food and water to algae.
What does algae return then?
Look, algae has chlorophyll. So, does it also do photosynthesis like green plants?
How shall we find out?
Let us read in the book.
Okay, see it here. It shows algae makes carbohydrates by photosynthesis.
This is also symbiotic relationship, isn't it? Sandeep, do you remember we also put manure in the pots kept in our class?
Yes, Shankar, I remember. The teacher told us that the mineral value of the soil reduces because it is always in use and hence manure increases the quality of the soil.
Cow dung is also a fertilizer.
But what is the speciality in it?
Cow dung is rich in organic matter.
Sandeep starts reading again, turns a few pages and then reads aloud. See, it is written in this book that some dead plants and animals help in returning organic matter to the soil and increase its fertility.
Oh, is it? It is very interesting.
This is like a chain. Plants and other creatures are dependent on each other for food and shelter. We learned in this chapter about symbiotic relationship and how nutrients are returned to the soil. So can we say that animals, birds, humans and plants are all dependent on each other?